Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano, and I've got a lightsaber. Yeah, I do. Today we're going to be converting the Savi's blade, not the hilt, we're not doing nothing to the hilt this time, but we're going to be converting the Savi's blade into a Darksaber. So now that everybody knows about the Darksaber, before it was really just people who had watched Clone Wars, maybe who saw Rebels, the people who dove a little bit deeper into their Star Wars, but now that safe to say most Star Wars fans have seen The Mandalorian, and the end of Mandalorian, we got to see a live-action version of the Darksaber. So now it's like super pop culture thing. I've done a review on the costume, it's actually back there, the Ruby's costume, Darksaber toy prop thing. It wasn't great, but it was the only thing that existed for a long time. Hasbro's got a Darksaber toy coming out later this year, but I don't want to wait that long, and I Am Geek Show had posted over on Reddit, I think I saw it in Facebook and Instagram as well, that they made a sleeve to go around the blade for their Savi's lightsaber to make it look kind of like a Darksaber. So it just got me thinking, I need to do that too. I really want one. I've got 5 of these blades. I built 5 Savi's lightsabers. So why not take one of these blades apart? Which I'm not a very techie person. This is not my wheelhouse, taking stuff apart, especially with electronics. I generally don't do this. But I figured, you know what, I've got 5 of them, what could it hurt? So I did. I took them apart. In fact, I want to show you guys the inside, the inner guts. It's very easy to take these apart. Take a look at this. So this is what a Savi's lightsaber plug looks like. In fact, this little portion here, it slides into the inside there. You can see there's grooves on the top and on the bottom. And those grooves are made for this thick little metal piece you see right here. And on the underside there's a thinner one right there. That's why one side's thicker, one side's thinner. You pop it in and you twist. But in order to take this thing apart, what you gotta do is you have to take those 3 little Phillips screwdriver head bolt nut thingies, take them apart, and then this will split in half very easily. In fact, I've got one here ready to go. It should, I took the screws out, you can see them there. It should just plop right open. Come on. It's hard to do this one-handed like always, but there we go. And we can see the insides. We can kind of see how this is put together. These are the main electronics here. Very simple. They do just plop right out. Like if you take it out, they should. Again, very difficult to do one-handed. But again, you can see all the electronics inside. We can keep that down. Now, on the inside, you may notice I've already started some of the conversion here. I've already started some of it, but I want to show you what's on the inside of this. Okay, so I do want to kind of pull this apart. Again, the electronics are all housed in there. You don't need to do much once you've got this thing open. But if you pull this out, what you'll find is you've got the LED strip, and the LED strip is covered by this foam. So a lot of people were like, is it dual worthy? I would say yeah, because, I mean, this LED strip, if it bounces or hits anything, it's going to hit this foam. It's like a little foam tube. So you've got an extra layer of protection, but then this is the actual tube that goes around it. There's even more. And what I had to do is take an X-Acto knife and go right where the glue is and the seam is on the top of this thing. I'll show you guys a little closer. A little closer here. There you go. You guys can see the tip of it. I took an X-Acto right there to the edge, just so it was easier to pop off. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. Because I did. You can see all of my blue tape in there from when I tried to put this together for you guys for the video. The hard thing about me and doing these kind of videos is when I have to set up the camera and change the battery and set up the lights and do all the stuff, it really does stifle my creativity. So I have a very, personally, I gotta pull up, a very hard time creating stuff like this and being able to just work while filming. It just doesn't suit my work style. So I don't often make videos like this anymore. I used to do painting videos, and I found that it annoyed me so bad having to start and stop and change memory cards that it killed my creativity. So I rarely do stuff like this. So you're welcome. But part of that was I'd gotten started already, and I had already started converting parts of the blade. And again, just by putting it back together, I ruined it, and I lost some of my progress. I was just going to make it. I wasn't even going to make a video. And then everyone's like, oh, I want to see a video. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess I can stop everything I'm doing and make a video for you guys. But yeah, isn't that, I mean, so this is what I've done. I've taken blue tape. So this is, again, how this works. LED strip inside, surrounded by the foam. That goes inside this white piece, which is then covered in this clear polycarbonate tube. So there are a lot of layers in here making this whole lightsaber thing happen. That's a lot of stuff. So just so you guys know the teardown on what's in here. Now see, look, I've got a bunch of blue tape stuck in the bottom now that all got ruined when I had to reassemble it. Now the reason I have the blue tape is because I'm basically going to be working in a negative kind of space. I'm going to be painting this whole white piece black. Oh, hi there, email. The only parts that I won't be painting black will have tape on them, and that's going to leave the white so that can come through. You get what I'm saying? We're kind of working in a negative space here. Alright. Make sure there's no more weird random pieces of tape in there. So, again, I've got my tape. I've taped off little areas that I think look like I just basically with my hand would cut a piece of tape and just like rip little shapes and stuff that I think would look very Darksaber-y. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to fill the entire blade, and then I'm going to paint it all black. And then I'm going to remove the tape. And then underneath the tape will be all these white spots that you now see as blue. And the rest of this blade will be black. So give me just a second. I'm going to cover this thing in more tape and then get ready for painting. Okay, as you can see, I've got it covered. Now, I just did this by hand. I literally took pieces of blue masking tape and just ripped by hand. You can see some of the different shapes, and I really wanted it to have like a jagged, textured kind of look. You can see some of them are these like pitchforky, like Y-shaped pieces. You know, I just kind of looked at reference online to figure out what I wanted it to look like. And I just covered the blade in these little pieces of tape. Now I'm going to go back through. See, they're kind of loose and popping up. So I'm going to make sure they're all patted down as much as I can get them. And I'm going to get my airbrush out and just kind of airbrush black over this. And hopefully that works. I don't know. This is all an experiment. This could go terribly wrong. I could go to turn this thing on and then it just doesn't work at all. And it's just like a failure. So, we'll see. Okay, so I've painted it. I got my little airbrush out, and I painted all of this thing. It's all black. I had a couple parts that kind of, the little paint tape, whatever, came undone. So I'm just going to start ripping these little pieces of tape off, and we're going to see, it's slowly going to kind of reveal itself, hopefully, what my design looks like. And you can start to see it happen in there. Alright, this could be okay. I was a little worried. I was like, well, this could be terrible. Or, I don't know. This is all an experiment. So I don't know how well this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to be a complete failure. But I am willing to find out. And if I get smudges and mess-ups, that's cool with me. But you're starting to see it come together. Oh yeah, I'm liking the look of this. Now, worst case, I ruined a blade. You know what? I'm out $50 and I ruined a blade. But these are the blades that came with the Savi's Workshop lightsabers. So you can't just buy these 31-inch blades on their own. You can only get these with the Savi's lightsaber. They will work in Legacy lightsabers, as we've all mentioned before, but they do not sell just the 31-inch. I can buy a bigger one. I have a bigger one. I can get a smaller one. Oh, I am kind of smudging the paint a little bit as I go. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that I'm making it a little sloppy and ruining some parts of it. I think that's actually going to end up giving it some good character, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to have scratches and kind of have a real textured look to it, because that's what it should have. It shouldn't be too perfect. You guys can kind of see it there. I am actually really into this. This is cool. Hopefully it comes out as good as I was thinking it would. Oh, that's a big piece of tape. You can definitely see where the tape didn't behave the way I wanted it to, and it kind of lifted up by the air of the airbrush. But again, those inconsistencies are something that I kind of really like. Oh yeah, more scratches the better, I think. Alright, let's see if I can get through this real quick. There we have it, my Darksaber style blade. Now I have to reassemble this entire thing. I think I know how to do it. Don't Don't count me in for any of this. Okay, I think I've got it. It should be pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Can I do it? Can I do it without scratching it up too much? Yeah. Okay. I think we're onto something here. Now I should be able to insert the LED strip. If I can get it right into the foam there. Oh, we are in business, guys. We are in business. Now I just got to take this little thing apart and reinsert, I guess, where this should go. Alright, now that I've got this thing reassembled, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's dark. You guys can see it there. All the lines came through. I've got the end kind of re-plugged in. I do want to show you guys a little bit of close-ups real quick, just so you can see how it looks in person. And let me kind of just set that down so I can rotate it. You can see I put everything back together. And you can see kind of the texture and some of those up-close scratches where I messed up. I like that. I actually think that's a good thing in this case. And again, you see back at the end where I painted over the end, the top. I am going to need to re-glue that. That's something I should probably do soon. But for the sake of getting this video done and showing you guys the final result. Ooh, the moment of truth. Let's see if this looks as good as I thought it would in my head. Oh! I didn't even get a chance to turn it on all the way. You ready? I'm going to show you guys up close. I like that. I think that looks pretty good, especially on camera. It looks a little better than I thought it would. I like that's kind of a cool look. Gotta watch out for my airbrush here, but it still does the flashes because it's still just like a normal white crystal. And again, I can do this with any crystal. I can put red in there if I want, and we can see what that looks like. So, for example's sake, I'm going to take a red crystal. We're going to plop that right in here and see what that looks like. You get that humming sound coming from the button there. Okay, let's tighten this up. You guys ready for this? You ready? I hope it looks as cool as I'm thinking it might, but... Oh, yeah! That's pretty cool. I do like the look of that a lot, actually. Yes. This looks great. I'm actually really into this. I maybe could have gone a little bit harder on the paint. You can see where some parts are a little bit darker, but I actually like that the light comes through and it's not perfect. That, to me, is a little bit cooler. Guys, I want to know what you think. Do you think I did an okay job as the Darksaber? I'm going to post a link to the I Am Geek show down below, so make sure you check them out and that you are listening up for them, because I'm going to be on an upcoming episode of their podcast. So thanks for the cool, awesome idea. Shout out to them for like posting this on Reddit. Really cool idea. Like, again, like I always say, the community comes up with the most ingenious stuff sometimes, and it's just like, wow, you guys are great. But now I have a Savi. I mean, I just need to 3D print a Darksaber Savi's hilt. But I think that looks pretty awesome. Let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up the video if you thought this was pretty cool. And again, this is something I did pretty easy. You just disassemble it, cover it in paint it, remove the paint, and put it back together. And you are done. You have a very easy, cheap mod for your Savi's lightsaber that'll make it look just like a Darksaber. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force have with you. A little sick. And goodbye forever.